Hello everyone, you're welcome to Splice Mind. Today we shall be discussing sibling rivalry. Whenever you hear the word sibling rivalry, what comes to your mind? We all came from a family, we grew up with siblings. We once had that fight, that struggle with amongst ourselves. So today I have beautiful guests in the studio that shall be doing justice to this topic. So I'm throwing it open to my guests to give us everything we need to know. And today, don't forget that we shall be talking about the causes and also cure or solution. Also tell us your story. If you had any rivalry with your sibling, do not forget, don't feel shy to let us know in the comment section. And do not also forget to like, to share, and comment. Thank you very much. So my beautiful guests, I have Cheta and Ivy in the building.
So for me, sibling rivalry is a normal thing. As in, it's a normal thing. As in, every family you get to, it's very hard for you not to see that. Most times it's silent, sometimes it's very loud.
Yeah.
The silent ones are the ones you didn't know why growing up. Maybe somewhere along the line you see a disconnect. You start wondering from where to where, like a little issue we just become so big and you be wondering how it happened. This thing has been there right from the inception. Most times even parents see it, but they see it as a small picking and they let it slide. A lot of things causes it. Most times the parents' approach. It's not even the child that is being rivaled with. It's not her fault, or it's not his fault, it's the parents. So most times when they come with their results and you see your father saying, why are you always at the bottom? Look at your siblings. Look at Emeka. He's always coming first in his class. Yeah. Is it not the same time I'm giving to you people that he has? Why are you the only one in this house that comes last? You see, at that point, you have reduced that child.
Yeah, the esteem of the child.
And most times the children tend to play and say, go away, you know nothing. They say it because they hear it from you.
Parents.
They hear from you and they say to the child, unknowing to them, they are planting a seed of discord.
Yeah.
So that child grows up with, I'm different, I don't know why. And like every home has it.
Yeah.
But most times the parents don't curb it. That's why it grows to become, you now have a wicked uncle, wicked auntie, and all these things, because it wasn't curbed from the beginning. That time you see that child is always bullying the other one because this other one does not come first and he comes first, and you're not telling the other child. The other child is looking, is watching for you to say, come, stop it. We have different milestones to hit as humans. When parents don't consider that, there is bound to be rivalry sooner or later.
So Cheta, do you agree with that?
I think it's a natural phenomenon, if we put it
like
that
you said,
way.
it's a normal fight.
Yes.
From what you said, it's beyond a normal fight.
Yes. It's a natural,
it's
not
natural.
necessarily normal, but it's natural.
Yeah.
In that we're all different.
Yeah.
The children who are in that family have different personalities.
Yeah.
Yes.
So having that different personalities can also cause sibling rivalry. Can also just cause rivalry in itself, whether in the siblings or amongst friends. But in this instance, between siblings. So having different personality, like probably I am good in a particular area, and because I'm excelling in that area, there's this pride that I have, and or I start exuding good, or there's this thing about this competition now, or comparison.
Or you start looking down on your sibling.
Yes, or not necessarily. It could be that also, like she said,
unknowing,
the parents. They start trying to make this
who
other
don't
sibling.
know, the parents or
most times the sibling don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, from
and even some parents, they think that they are encouraging you.
Exactly.
Follow your brother's footsteps. But it's planting something else.
Yeah.
Most times it's done unknowing. Even on the part of the parents, even on the part of the child. Most times the child might even throw it as an insult.
Or start telling to her friends about the brother.
And the other person, do you know that a lot of children, there are a lot of children with different personalities and characters. Like there are some people that when you say something to them, they get angry and they leave it.
So that means our parents need to know our different abilities.
Yes, if you look at your
actually
child,
emotional.
yes, if you look at your child and you know that your child does not forgive some things you see. There are some children as small as they are.
They will just
if something happens, they will not talk to you the next morning. You have to shout. Did you see me this morning? Remember, you spoke to that child wrongly yesterday.
Yeah.
And the child forgot to greet you. You have forgotten.
Yeah.
But the child reminds you with his character.
Yeah, attitude.
Because I spoke to you yesterday, but there's another child. The next morning, he will be the person to greet you. So if you actually make that comparison with that child, you will not take it to heart. Do you get?
Yeah.
But that one that everything gets to him, if you make an unnecessary comparison, he keeps it. In the next 20 years, you'll be surprised they will play that thing for you where it happened.
Yeah.
You'll be shocked.
Yeah.
That the child did not forget. Because that's the kind of person the person is. It's not a bad thing. That's how the person is. There are a lot of people like me, for instance. If you do something to me, if I have not spoken about it, I have not forgiven you.
Yeah, you know how.
But the day I tell you about it,
it's
I'm
gone. Yeah. So you're the side that wants to talk
I want to talk about it. I want to tell you how I feel.
I don't want to be suppressed.
I don't want to. Even if it's whether you say sorry or you don't say sorry, for the fact that you have heard the wrong me, I'm okay. But there are people that they will talk about it with you. They will smile. They will say, "Oh, it's fine." I lie. I'm not fine.
So that's why I said personalities.
Yes.
Even in marriages, different personalities bring about some clashes that we experience. So it's just part of the course.
Yeah.
So and like I said, also the parents' approach
to it.
Yeah.
So if you unknowingly compare your children, you're going to create that rivalry.
So we are trying to tell our people, our audience, especially the parents, not to compare
even
children.
as siblings.
Yes,
even as siblings too. Even as siblings. You always have a favorite sibling.
Yes.
You always see that question. Who's your favorite
even amongst the parents?
Who's your favorite brother?
We always have. You have. I have.
You understand? Everybody will all have a favorite.
But the truth of the matter is, some parents make it obvious to these children.
That's the
I have an encounter. I went to a friend's house and she was talking about her child. It's her second son. She has 4 children and she has 2 boys and 2 girls. And she was talking about her second son in such a manner that I was wondering if it's another person.
See, she was talking about.
And the children were there, not like they were not there. She was saying, "This my son is going to be the governor of the state. He's so intelligent. He's my best child." And it's not like her first son is not doing well. He was there. And he was like, do you know, second sons are the ones that take care of the family. So I feel like my second son take care of the family. I feel like, so she was saying that in front of her, and I was like, babe, your children there.
Yeah.
She did not mind. But I don't talk about it because I feel like she will not even understand me at that point.
Yeah,
so if I start stretching it, even the children will understand it better. So with that had an opportunity where the children had gone to her sister's house, I told her,
I had to talk to her.
Don't do that thing you're doing again. You always want to make this one a special one, and you forget it's not even your first one.
Okay, that we've been talking about comparison. Is there any other cause?
Of course,
yes, there are.
Like age differences can also lead to sibling rivalry. Take for instance, in a family of say 4. The first is a boy, the second a girl, the third a girl, the fourth a boy.
Oh, okay.
You see that age between the boys
and the last
and the first, and there will always be that.
Especially when it seems like the last one is doing better than the
doing
first
better,
probably he's smart.
Yes.
Like there was one case I heard about, the boy being that he's the last child, and not necessarily the last, but he was not even the last. The elder brother was way older than him. So they gave birth to this one almost 11 years later before they gave birth to this one. So that age difference.
They now pour all their love, channel attention.
The older one felt neglected.
Yes,
because after a while, this is me for 11 years.
Yes.
I was the focus. All of a sudden, this guy came up
and took everything.
So I think that this normally happens if you're not talking about the age difference, like you have a first child, you want to show that child all the love, you want to buy everything. But the moment I see this amongst women, the moment you have the second child, you just
not just second. The moment you have the next child,
you just change. Sometimes I used to wonder, I'll be like, what happened to the first one? So because this one you always talk about this one, you always want everybody to know about this one, and the second child comes and
takes over. You just
So like this, the boy now, they had an opportunity to have a discussion, to have a talk.
Okay,
And
with
the
the
younger,
parents.
not the parents, they had this opportunity. It was just like a
As
show.
teenagers.
Yes. And to talk. The boy is already an adult, while the younger one is just a teenager. So he bonds more with his younger sibling than his elder one. So when they were asked, okay, what? He said, the way you correct me,
It's different.
I can't, not necessarily different. There's this, I can't relate with you because I see you not just like a brother, like an uncle, because you are older.
Okay.
So I can't really share things with you. And so when you correct me sometimes, and sometimes even hits me in the process, I feel like punching you, but I can't do that. So you can imagine what he has been harboring. So as a result, they don't have relationship.
Sure.
It is now the boy is understanding. So the boy have to pour out his own emotions.
Yeah.
Like when you came in, the attention moved drastically
And it's causing
from
jealousy.
from me to you. I don't hate you. I just did not understand the fact anymore that I no longer get my parents' attention as much as I used to. But now that I'm older, I understand.
Do you know what you're saying happens between a husband and a wife when a child comes in?
Yeah.
It happens.
But most times,
when the wife now pours
it might not
and
about
attention
about
on
the
the
parents. There are situations where this other person is more outspoken, more always there. You are doing a family drama in church and you're the one that's everything. And maybe sometimes you're the younger one.
Exactly.
And then your older one is there and it's like all the love is about you. When people come to the house, they are coming to look for you. There is this jealousy that comes in. And another thing, most times when you're
especially when you have an introvert and
yes, an extrovert. Like
child.
when I was watching Big Brother show and I saw two sisters that went in. Monica is the outgoing one, while Chizoba is the introvert.
Reserved.
But when you go to the social media space, for those that are just watching clips, they tend to support Chizoba because they feel like she's been cheated by Onyeka.
Okay.
They are not listening to Onyeka.
The same thing is happening to Victoria too.
Yes.
Okay.
They are not listening to Sean because Sean is like out there and Victoria is the reserved.
Yeah.
So most times it just happens that your personality just puts it up. It just sums up your personality. And again, another thing, your build, how God has created you. Most times you have siblings where you're the one that stands out. When you dress up, you look different from everyone. You see the other ones, you even try to push them, but they don't want to. They're not interested. They feel ashamed of dressing.
And our parents don't even take time.
And our parents don't take time to put in their eyes to see that oh, this one is not. Let me try.
You must not be like your sister.
You're unique your own way. So most times you grow up with that. She's the best. She's the most loved. She's the this. She's the that. And you start having resentment for your sister. And just need to spark, and you people just drift apart.
And do you know that this resentment can actually stay for a very
no, that is the truth.
It doesn't just that once. Like this boy now, like I gave as an instance. He is almost 17. And so when he was it's been years. If you could hear, you could feel the pain when he was talking.
Yeah.
And when they asked the question, can you ever have that relationship with your brother like you do with your sister? I don't know.
Because that time has gone. And the parents did not take it into consideration to like check
did not notice. So see, that's why I say it's a natural occurrence. However,
when it's nurtured,
it is how the role we play that makes it grow bigger or smaller. Because the same way that's sibling rivalry, because it's the same weight of love that we share amongst ourselves too.
Yeah.
Do you understand it?
That's how the internet comes to.
So many things. So there are so many causes. Comparisons, the favoritism. When the parents always favor one child over the other.
And you know, as a Nigerian, you always favor the child that's doing well. It's not
just Nigerian. It's a normal thing. Because when we talk about that favoritism, it is difficult for a parent not to have a favorite child. If we are being realistic.
And do you know the truth about that? There's no way you hide it. Anyhow you hide it, the children know.
They know.
You can hide it in such a way that they know, but they know it's not coming from a place of hate. Or they know it's not coming from a place of I want to hurt the others. Because There was one
And it has to do
woman.
with the way you approach the situation.
There was one
too.
woman who died, and on her burial day, when they were just doing some normal dance, they just dragged, this is Mama's favorite child. But you could see the happiness, the joy with which they introduced that child as a Mama's favorite. There was no hate. So I believe, yes, they all knew maybe the way the mother will always react to her actions and all that. But they know that the same way the mother will react to them, she didn't make it look obvious. But you will always know. What I'm saying is, don't make it look so obvious that it's not to the detriment of the other children.
But it's hard not to make it obvious.
Because when you
let me put you can't about you
can't.
Let me put it
what you will say is hard is not to have a favorite.
No,
but
there's no way. There's no even amongst friends. Even amongst friends, you have your favorite friends.
Like now, for instance, you have 2 children, and this person does not like being flogged. Immediately you say whatever, she adapts. Immediately you say, I don't want this to be like this. She tries to please you. And you have this other child where you talk and talk and talk. My dear, the child will feel
no,
because you will show your anger. It's not because you hate the child.
In that instance, when they grow older, you will see even the children, they discuss it. I don't like King. They discuss it. I don't like, instead of mommy to flog me, I'd rather do what she says. He said, that's you now, you fear. But they discuss. So you will always, whether your children or not, whether they're your children, even to friends, those ones who always listen to you or share with you.
But I don't think
always
it will eliminate it.
No, we're not looking at the elimination.
No, that's not. It will still breed sibling rivalry. Let me tell you something. There are siblings that knows that this one likes to please their parents and they hate you for it.
That's another.
No, they hate you for it. They're not. Okay, you're talking about you saying you're fear, you are afraid of killing. That's and there are some other siblings that when you talk about it, come on, get out. Wait till they fear. Come on.
That's the other.
You want me to like you. They hate you for it.
So that's
so there are a whole lot of things.
But
then,
in this case, they know the mother is favoring that child because of that reason. That's not even the area. Favoritism, what I'm talking about is whether the child is doing well or not doing well. Because now in that instance, if this story again, I'll still go back to the story. When one of his points he raised was, you can go out and come back 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Me, if I dare step out and it's 7, I'm not home, I'll be flogged.
No, that one is a different. That is a different.
No, that's what he was seeing as. He felt this person is saying, like, my parents loves you more because it gives you room to do whatever you want to do. But this other person is saying, my parents loves you more because it protects you from so many things that I'm exposed to. So in that instance, they don't understand what that favoritism is about. But from here, the child knows why the mother is favoring this other child because this one
does it stop the child from rivalry with that child?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But in that instance, that's the brunt on the child. We're talking about how the parents show those favoritism. It's an instance where whether this child does right or does wrong, you still favor that child.
I don't think
so. Our audience, do you agree with what we are saying today?
I don't think
we want to know your opinion in the comment section.
So
tell us if you have stories or something that has happened, probably in your family or with friends. Just let us know, okay?
I honestly don't think there are parents that would like a child because the child is stubborn or the child is not doing well.
No.
The likeness is always coming from a place of
that is
you pleasing me. This child is everything I prayed for.
But do you know we have children that are pleasing but stubborn?
Yes, not necessarily pleasing.
We have children that are pleasing but
for
stubborn.
instance, the child who you waited for after how many years?
Oh.
The child is not pleasing you, but you just have this love that you came to wipe away my tears. Yes, you also have that.
So what are the effects of all this to the child?
There are so many effects. There are so many effects. Like this one I just gave as an instance. There's always going to be that discord. There's no unity amongst them. They might not have that bond like.
And those things transcends to even when they have their own children. You hardly see them going to each other's house. You hardly, like the other day I saw on Instagram a child. I think the child is The older child is 10 and the other child is 8, and she killed the child. She killed her. They are cousins. Yeah. They are both mothers and sisters.
Okay.
And they went to their grandmother's house for holiday, just this August break. And then something happened about iPhone and all that. But now, why I felt like that thing was deeper than what the story. I felt like it was from the home of their parents. The mother and the two parents might not be going the same direction. Yeah. So because this thing happened in the afternoon, and they listen, they hear. Yes, the 12 years old harbored it in her heart till night, woke up and used the wrapper, the duvet she was using to sleep to choke her to death. The phone had been handed over to her, so there was no reason for it again. But because there is something bitterness that has transcended from their parents.
Well, for me, I might not necessarily tell that line of the parents. I might not necessarily. There are some children, no matter.
So if you don't, what do you think that a child of 12 years?
There are some children, no matter what the parents do, they will still be what they are.
So no.
So in that instance,
a child of 12 years,
it could be that they be allowing the younger one get away with a lot of things. It might not necessarily be that the parents.
The younger one is not her direct younger one.
No, what I mean by
they are not even related.
You take this things outside now.
They visit regularly. Yeah. Their cousins, they visit their grandma regularly. And there's always this notion: you are older than her, and give her. And it may appear like they don't listen to her as well. If it happens over time and you don't caution it could build resentment, build into what we now have.
But the matter is, these things makes the family bond broken.
These are speculations.
You will see people say, my pikin no go fit go my brother house, except I did. My pikin no go fit take something from my brother. So the thing goes from generation to generation.
And today we have cousins
you have cousins that you don't speak to.
Yeah.
You have no, as in present, issues with them, but
should we allow this sibling rivalry to affect our children? Because even all of us here today, we have our mothers, our fathers that they have people they don't talk to, and because of that, because they discuss these things in the home, you tend to listen to it, and you grow up to be like, my father does not like this person, so therefore I don't want to go close to this person.
Yes, the truth of the matter is, most times the father or your mother is not at fault. Maybe the uncle is at fault. Or sometimes it's your parent that is at fault. But now, when something has stayed over time, it becomes resentment, it becomes hatred. So for me, I will not allow my child to go to a house I don't go to.
Okay.
For any reason. The truth is, somebody that doesn't like you cannot like you. That is a representation of you. I remember a few years ago, there was this lady in church. She's big, her husband is big, and their child, they were living in Ogunabali. Yeah. So they live in the family house where they are all together. At some point, because of the rivalry and all the troubles, this other lady that goes to my church, they pulled out, went to their own house, and they kept telling their children that this uncle does not like us.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really nice for you. I'm not saying keep malice with him, greet him, according all the respect, but please don't take anything from him. But these children grew up. The first time grew up and felt like, no, it's my uncle. I have to take him as my uncle. And he's there following him. So now when he was poisoned, the whole food was together, but it was only him that died. And they will never forget.
No, they can never.
Anybody that knows their story always talks about it.
That's to the extreme.
Yeah, so that is how it goes. It goes to the extreme. Those little things that starts little,
and nobody wants to talk about it.
It goes to the point where you now say, hey, I'm a Christian, I just want to forgive, but the person you're forgiving, does he forgive you?
Yeah.
Is he interested in your relationship? Does he want to see your progress? There are a lot of people will forgive, but you keep your distance.
Yeah.
You're not holding anything against them. You don't have anything in your heart.
So what advice do we have for parents?
Not necessarily parents alone.
No, we are talking about sibling rivalry here. So when you talk about siblings, the parents are the key.
Parents,
So as a parent, we are all parents. What advice do you have for other parents? Like sometimes, from if you look at what we've discussed today, you discover that it's because most parents, you don't take cognizance of the children's behavior. We always say he's a child. He's a child. And you made mention of something about when you wait for a child for a very long time and that child comes. Let me tell us one story. There's this family, they waited like this, and the child finally came, a boy. You know, this boy was misbehaving, and everybody was like, don't worry, if he beats him, the mother will start shouting, do not touch my child. To the extent that the child goes to the freezer to urinate.
What
Wow.
So somebody now came and spanked the child, and it caused a very big rivalry in the family. So as parents, what should we do to avoid this? Because you cannot say you don't see them.
Yeah.
You see them on a daily basis.
No, you have to take them from this.
So for me, one is avoid comparison.
Okay.
Thankfully, I'm in the education system, and most times you see that play all the time. The parent will come with two children, and they start telling, this child is struggling, yes. And the next thing say, when there's a particular, my first child, you are telling her this is the issue, this particular one is having. He said, no, it's not natural, it's not normal. My first child, when she was this, she could do this. When she was that, she could do this. When she was, the other one could do this. So what is wrong with this one? Children are different.
And most times in the presence of the child. And the child is looking at you.
Yes. So, and it may lead to having a low self-esteem. In terms of that, a very, very
you see the child struggling even amongst his or her
because he's not getting that support from where it's mostly needed. The home front is the very first point of learning for every child. So important. Where they learn empathy, that's another thing. Teach them empathy. Where they learn it is not in the school, is it not even in the church, it's in the home. You teach them to empathize, like, oh, these children are having a misunderstanding. And instead of going in and then, maybe, yes, one child is wrong for, whatever issue that happened. Instead of focusing on only that wrong child, focus on the both of them. And then teach them to empathize. Oh, this person might not be feeling too well, that's why he's acting this way. So sometimes you could find yourself in that situation.
For me, try to give room for improvement for everyone. For instance, you put your first son in a coding class and you leave the second son out.
Because you think he will not be capable
of doing whatever. For me, try your best to make sure that maybe that one cannot read at that point. That's why you did not.
Or it's not
it's not about his thing. Most times, maybe the child is not hitting the milestone.
Okay.
Most times, because there are some delays in milestones. Some people, they don't hit when you're supposed to talk well, you're not talking well. When you're supposed to start reading, you're not reading. So you're kind of backward in all those things. But for me, as you're registering the coding class, make sure you're registering this one in the spelling class, making sure he's getting prepared to enter that coding class. Because anyhow you do it, whether he knows how to do computer or not, allow him to explore that thing. Let him go and find out that he can't do it. Most times,
I think at that point he will understand.
He will understand that, oh, me is not my thing. He will be the one explaining. But it's not when you are explaining, he will not understand from your perspective because he will feel like they do not like me, they like him.
Anyway, it depends on the age when those things happen. If you have, I had the opportunity of having two children who are of different age group and different class. This other one, the older one, already knows I'm not good in anything ICT. He already knows. So they had to put him in another club that he loves. While the younger one does coding.
So what I'm saying,
so I understand.
Give them the opportunities to explore. Don't just say he will not be able to do it. Don't just write him off, because that write-off is where it comes.
And also help the child, even if you know that the child cannot do it. Help the child. I've seen cases where normally in school environment where a parent will now be like, okay, this my child is not doing well in math. Please, can I get a blessing teacher for this child? Instead of coming out to say, no, your brother is better than you, your sister. No, you help the child.
That's just the only way is help the child. Then for the schools, most times we tend to put children in different schools, maybe because the first one was going to this school and then you now find that the school fees is getting higher. And when you have other children, you put them in different schools. For me, take the children out, put them in
In the same school.
especially when they're in primary school.
Yeah.
Take them to the same primary school.
Yeah.
Secondary school,
It's
you all
a law.
understand.
This is a law.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because when they grow up, if this one that went to the state school is not doing well, he will just be like, it's because he went to a better school.
Do you know, sorry for cutting, do you know, while I was growing up, we had somebody in the house from the village. So my father now felt because this person came from the village, we should put the person in a private school. Meanwhile, we were attending state school. I had to call my dad. I said, no, we are your children. I am your child. Why would you now take me to a state school and take this one that doesn't even have heads, doesn't even have brain? That's what I told my dad, that this one does not have a brain. So, and you're taking him to a private school.
See how you can recount that story.
And I was bitter. I was bitter about it.
If that person is actually your sibling and you still see him, and
my dad had to remove him. We all had to go to the same school.
For instance, now your dad did not listen to you and he left that one.
And carried him in my mind all my life.
Every struggle that you go through, you always feel like if I had gone to
yes.
So that is why
more especially if that person becomes even more successful.
That is where the problem comes.
So that's another.
Keep the cards on the table.
At the point I asked my dad, look at the person we registered in a private school. He's not even doing anything. The boy was not jealous.
If that person was your sibling and today the person is better than you, you will always say, that time my father took him to a better school than my own. That's why. So it's always good to put the cards on the table.
And then I think also teach children conflict resolution.
Yeah.
There are sometimes you don't necessarily have to be the one to be the arbitrator or the
allow them settle
the mediator. Let them settle themselves.
So how do you do that?
You teach them. It's a conversation you will have. You sit down. Okay, at this point, the both of you sit down
and talk
about your differences.
No,
explain.
It depends on the age.
No, you start it very young.
I know what
less than even 5.
So okay, let me say for some like in my own house, if the smaller ones are doing things wrong, for instance, if I say don't move this thing here, and I come back and it's moved, I'm beating the elder one because I'm putting them in your care.
Yeah. Did you tell the elder one?
Yes, that's because I already told you that. Make sure that this place is organized.
Yeah.
If anything happens, I'm going to beat you. So when I come back, nobody is getting blamed. You are going to be blamed because I'm expecting you to have arranged.
No, but that's a different case altogether because you gave an instruction. I'm saying they're having a difference between themselves.
That's what I'm telling you. At 5, she asked you at what age?
Yes, at 5. At 5,
the child expressed him.
Wow, are you serious?
At 5?
Are you serious?
Really?
Oh yes, they can.
Wow.
Oh yes, they can. Not all the children. It doesn't mean that you're just going to leave them there and move away. No, you sit there.
This explanation depends on your child or on your children.
Some children
that's why I said teach. We're talking about when.
Do you know you teach when you teach, the child is expected to learn by the way the child has improved. You have to improve psychologically.
Yes.
Physically, emotionally, there are lots of improvement.
I don't think you understand what I mean. Even as a baby, your child now, you are breastfeeding, and then the child bites. You talk to the child. You don't do this. The child is going to grow up. The child is in the womb and
when they bite you, they just look at you.
You converse. You've already started teaching that child some certain level of knowledge. So you can also, at 1, don't hit mommy, sit down. Whenever you have this kind of issue, you talk it out. You already, that's why I said teach.
But you know,
so for them,
teaching still depends on the child.
No, it depends on you, the parent.
Not just you.
Okay, in conclusion, yes. So
in conclusion, I know it's going to be a lot, not to believe that rivalry exists. It does exist, but as parents, as siblings, as friends, as relatives, as every caregiver in their life,
siblings.
No, I'm talking about both friends,
every
relatives,
aspect.
Everybody that's involved in the children's life or in the siblings' life. We have roles to play. we have roles to play. Because don't compare. One of you, don't compare. Avoid comparison. Sometimes the comparison might not be coming from the parents. It might be coming from an uncle.
Yeah.
You know you are the first son here.
Yes.
Everything that you say, behave as one. Those other people respect you. You're already compared. So this child starts seeing himself more superior than his siblings. So that's why I say every caregiver in the child's or in the children's life, no comparison. Instead, let's model how we want the children
to be.
Thank you.
So coming to the world, so as our faces are different, so is our milestones that are going to
and our abilities.
We all have our unique abilities. We all have what God has blessed us with. Like if you can't sing, you can dance. If you can't dance, you can read well. There are a lot of things that God has placed in your hands. Most times you've not found out, but with time you're going to find out. Do not be interested in any other person's development because God has your own plans for you. So that's it.
So our viewers, I hope you enjoyed the conversation today. So we might not have spoken everything or outlined everything you want to hear. So do not forget to also drop your comments in the comment section. Share and like. You know, as parents, listen to your children. Have an open mind. Be attentive to them.
Know them.
Watch them. Know when a child is misbehaving and when a child is taking to him or herself. You should know. And call the child to order. Call the child to know why. Because there must be a reason. A child cannot just withdraw to him or herself without a reason. So as a parent, it is our duty to know all these things and help the child to grow, because I don't think there's any parent that would want the child to go outside and not do well, or stand amongst his or her peers and not be able to speak out for themselves. We all watch reality shows and we see people be like, this one is too dull, this one is like this, why can't she not defend herself? This is the reason. So you understand. So thank you very much.
All right,
see you
bye
next time.